Alright, welcome back to Flight Sim 2020 and welcome back to the High Performance Group H160. We are of course continuing our little SoFly Animals Pack South Africa tour kind of thing. This is the farm just outside Bloemfontein where we landed in the previous episode, and it's a beautiful misty morning here just outside Bloem, and we're going to be taking our luxury version of the H160 over to another farm. We're heading east over the Drakensberg Mountains, or part of it. We're not going right over the top, but we'll skirt around the edge. And we've actually got two sets of animals to check out today. We're going to be checking out some rhinos, which are actually part of the Flight Sim scenery. It's not the SoFly pack, so we'll go and check those out. They're part of the default animals that come with Flight Sim 2020. And then we're continuing on kind of a little bit more south. Although no, it's actually still pretty much dead east from there, and to the next SoFly Animals, which are some horses on a farm. So we'll go do our normal check them out and see if they make sounds and see what the models look like and all of that cool stuff. So that's the plan for today. As you can see, the helicopter's up and running, and the sun is starting to rise behind us, so we can jump aboard. Beautiful morning. It's not really misty, it's just a little hazy. Right, everything is already set and we are ready to go. The GPS route is loaded, taking us first to a little reserve where the rhinos are supposed to be. So that's going to be our first stop. It's about an hour and 20 minutes worth of flying, so we're going to do a little bit of a cruise time lapse as we go, and then landing at Kwamina to check out the rhinos. So we'll leave the parking brake on because we're on a bit of a slope here. Let's get some power involved. Get the aircraft up in the air, nice and smooth. As always, the H160 is just a joy to fly. Okay, the wind is slightly from our left-hand side, so let's go ahead and just pivot a bit in that direction. A little bit of, I don't know if you'd say mist. Yeah, possibly. Some atmosphere for sure. Let's get some more power in here. Past 60 knots, so we can bring the gear up.
Caution, terrain.
Nice day for flying. Visibility is 100%. Alright, let's come down here and get this up rather. Now we do need to get over the mountains, so we're gonna have to climb a bit higher than usual. So what are we now? 5,000. I think we need to go about 8,000 is probably cutting it a little bit fine. Although the part that we're going over, maybe I should just look on the chart. So I'm pretty sure 10,000 would get us over any point. So, the highest peaks in this area, oh wow, 10,400, 10,300, 10,900, 11,000. We're not going quite that high or that close to the mountains. So I think what I'll do is we'll aim for 8,000 and then we'll go along the side rather than flying straight over, because we're just kind of going over the edge. I think that's what we're going to do. Perhaps we do 10,000 and just stick to flying along the mountains. Yeah, that'll be a bit more scenic actually. So let's do that. This I need to fix down here. That's why. Okay. So we just need to come in here and set that to on. That's cool. Right, let's get ourselves on course here as we come through 6,300 feet. What does that mean? IBF clog trim. It seems like we need some sort of maintenance. A bit concerning, especially since we're not going to actual airports that are going to have facilities that can fix things for us. See if I can find some information on what that is actually telling us. It's obviously not super serious because it's written in white. Like if it was an error, well, not an error, but if it was a danger or a warning or something like that, it would either be yellow, or if it was really serious, it would be red. So it seems at the moment it's just, I don't know, information based. Bug obviously means something is getting blocked. So that's not good. Right, so about an hour's flight to Comia. So we're coming through 8,000 feet. I guess you could say that does actually look misty down there. It's early morning, and of course the haze in the sun making visibility in front of us quite difficult. As the temperature rises, this will start to burn off pretty quickly, I think. So it seems like IBF is inlet barrier filter to protect the engine. So that seems like on the engine, that filter is starting to become blocked. So I'm guessing we can fix that in the kind of maintenance panel on the tablet. just passing through 9,400. We're still making good speed, actually. And we got a little bit of power in hand as well. Flying directly into the sun, though, isn't great. And we're going to be doing that for pretty much the entire flight as well. So once we get to 10,000, we want barometric altitude hold, and then nav, which will be, are we on the GPS? Yes. Right, so let's do that. And we'll do this as well. Take us to the right for a bit so we get back onto course, and then we can just cruise along. Hey, our aircraft just switched over to day mode, all the lights got brighter. To about 130 knots. That's pretty impressive. And the wind is in front of us. Right, if I... What am I trying to do? No, let's do this. If we come in here, there's failures in maintenance. Nothing here seems to have to do. Obviously we have no failures at the moment. Oh, there we go, we do have clogging. 165%. So I wonder if that's actually because we've been landing on the ground. I mean, off airport landings, because all of the last landings that I've done in this helicopter have just been on the farms that we've been visiting. So I wonder if it's actually registering that and putting dust and debris and stuff clogging up those engines. So we're gonna have to sort this out soon. Interesting. That's actually really cool. Okay, so we're about 48 minutes to Crimea, 121.6 miles. We're expecting to arrive there at 8:36 in the morning. 193 kgs of fuel on board. Possibly a bit less as we bring up the torque. So that's going to fluctuate a bit. I don't see anything on our engine stats and performance that would indicate we have a clogging issue. Oh, here's IBF over here. 45%. Does that mean 45% clogged? Maybe this would be lower if we didn't have that. Ah, okay. Clearly I've got a lot to learn about this. Well, I knew that anyway, but that's really interesting. What a beautiful morning. So I think what we'll do then is just, hey, the sun has risen above all of the mist, so we don't have that crazy glare anymore, which is very nice. You can see how the mist goes up to the mountains, which is very cool. So I think what we'll do is we'll let it cruise for a bit and do a bit of a time lapse, and then I can join you again, probably once we get closer to the mountains and I need to pay more attention than just letting the autopilot do its thing. But we'll see. We're at 10,000 feet, and I think we'd make it over the part. We're kind of just going over the edge, but we'll see when we get. Anyway, I'll see you in just a bit. Right, so as you can probably see, we are coming up to the mountains here. So I think we're just gonna pick our way through. And we'll probably just stay at 10,000 feet. And just keep to one side of these peaks. So definitely, as you can see up ahead, some of these peaks are higher than 10,000 feet. So we'll take it off the, well, taking it off the autopilot in terms of lateral navigation. I can just kind of guide it through here manually. The other thing I probably should have done is, okay, no, that's cool. Just come here and turn off the landing lights. We probably don't need those at this point. Right, and while we were just cruising along, went to the manual and had a look. So, if we come down, it's going to be the easiest here. So this IBF, well, in fact, if I do this, we can actually just switch this over here. Right. So this IBF is the percentage of cloggedness, how clogged the filter is. And it says that this is obviously from sand and dirt and debris and stuff. Now, in reality, you would get a lot more of that landing off airport. I don't know. I couldn't find any information about whether that is actually modeled in the sim. So if doing off airport landings clogs that up faster, but it did say that the performance of the aircraft or the performance of the engine is not affected until this reaches 100%, and at that point it would actually turn yellow. And if we go up here are the IBF controls for each engine, and when they're set to normal, if that gets to 100% clog, it actually opens the filters. Same if you have an engine out on takeoff, these filters will actually have a performance hit on the engines because you're changing the airflow into the actual engines. So when you have an engine out on takeoff, you obviously want the remaining engine to give the highest possible power output, so it'll automatically open in that situation. And here where we have them set to normal, they will also open if that reaches 100%, the clogged factor reaches 100%. So basically at the moment we're good. If I actually come up here and open these, let's see what happens. Do we get some sort of, aha, it tells us there that they're open. So I don't see actually any change, which makes sense because it does say that it only really starts affecting your engines when it's on 100%. So I'm going to put those back to normal, and then we'll see what they're 45% clogged. So we do need to obviously unclog that at some point, which I guess would just be a case of cleaning out the filters. Right, so like I said, we're not actually spending too much time over the mountain range here. This is basically it. Let's go put this back to our nav so we can see the well, Golden Gate National Park is actually over there. The farm where we're going is, well, it's more of a game farm, but it is kind of still in the mountains. Right, we're not too far away actually. And we're going to need to start descending because it's kind of down there. So I think I'm going to ditch the autopilot completely. We can kind of start a gentle descent here. I think it's just other side this ridge over here. The other thing I want to learn how to do is be able to descend without that crazy blade slap noise, because that's quite intense. So I'm wondering if I slow down a bit. Maybe it's just because I'm too fast. So we're still getting it. It's maybe not as bad as when we were faster, but it's definitely still present. I mean, I'm only doing like 100 feet per minute descent. Little dam on the top here. If there's any way to get up here with a vehicle. Maybe. It's kind of flat on this side. So we'll quickly check out the rhinos. I'm not going to shut down or anything because we need to then head on to the next farm. We'll just... I think I'll touch down if there's a nice place to land. We can put it down, have a look around, see, I don't know if they're static or if they move around or how many there are, or if we'll even be able to spot them. Sometimes they're kind of difficult to find. But yeah, so we'll quickly check that out and then we'll continue to the farm and check out the horses from the SoFly pack. Descend too quickly here because we actually still need to make it over that ridge there. So it looks like they're actually along the river, so we cross over the ridge line and then we should pick up another river. They actually seem to be on the edge of that because we're passing over a river now. But it's not this one, it's the next one. Speed a little bit. Still gently descending. Okay, I guess we can bring our landing light back on and then we probably don't need this for a while. other videos, which may or may not be out yet at the point that this video goes out. I think it should be. Just can't remember the order. We did some flying in the Cowan H125 to go and pick up some campers from the top of a hill down towards Cape Town. This would be a cool area to do something similar as well. Okay, there's the river down there. So it seems like there's somewhere on the edge of this river. So it's in like this little kind of valley thing, naturally, which is where a river would go. So I think they're then there somewhere. I know there's like a lodge or something near this. That looks like it could be some sort of lodge or resort or whatever you want to call it over there. Even be deeper down in the valley here. This definitely looks like some sort of resort here. Possibly estate or something like that. But we're going further down. And then I guess we just keep our eyes open and check out along this river here. Gone too far. No, keep going down the river. This opens out quite a lot here. Be just down here. This was the area. This looks like some sort of resort or something on the edge here. That looks like a big parking lot or something at the top. Definitely an area that's been cleared. Looking down into this valley. Best not to fly into this ridge here. Yeah, we're okay. There's something down there, in amongst those trees. There. Is that just bushes? Slow, so we'll get gear down. Ah, yes, there they are. That one seems to be, yeah, those are kind of moving around. There's a little one, there's a bunch over there. I mean, In reality, doing this would scare them away, but what I was actually looking at is just a bunch of bushes.
Caution, terrain.
Right, so if we are nice and careful, we can land on the other side of this river. And then if they decided to attack us, we just pay attention,
Caution,
we'd be able to get out of here before they cross the river.
warning, terrain.
Obviously, in flight sim, don't think they're going to try and attack us, but in reality,
Caution, terrain.
want to put my helicopter in a fight with a rhino. Yeah, I think we're good. Keep the parking brake on because we're on a little bit of a slope. Just set it down gently. Drifting backwards a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I'm not going to go into low idle in case they come running across here. Yeah, so they actually do move around. There's a bunch. That one's got a little one with it. They're just kind of standing there. There's another one there in the bush. Now, I don't know. How realistic it is to have this many rhino together. Pretty cool. Oh, these just kind of walk around. They don't like phase back or like despawn. Yeah, that one's moving. They kind of just walk in a circle. So when he gets to the end, which you can't see because it's behind the bush, he just kind of turns around, which is pretty cool. Because in some of the other places, they get to the end and they just like phase back or despawn and just pop up again. This is way better. This is kind of like a loop. Again, this comes with the default Microsoft scenery. This isn't from SoFly. This is just part of Flight Sim. Alright, very cool. Let's continue on. We've got a short flight over to the next farm where we can check out the horses. Just check we're clear on both sides. Right, have we... This is another question. Have we clogged up the filters a bit more? Doesn't seem like it. Maybe it just does a little bit, like based on your flight time, that just slowly goes up. Wind is actually from behind us, but I want to take off out this way. So those are the rhino. Is it Comeo? Gear up. We're going to be about 7-8 minutes flight from here. So we don't need the autopilot or anything. These dams on the map actually have water in them. They certainly don't in the sim. What's it say? 12 minutes. No, we're probably not going to pick up much more speed than that. Maybe a little bit. under 10 minutes now flight time. As expected, that mist kind of all burnt off as we were cruising along. What's the wind look like? A little bit of wind. Gentle. Okay, 8 minutes to go. So I've never seen the horses from SoFly, so this will be a first for me as well. And of course, we'll go check out and see what sounds they make. I read somewhere that the whales actually make sounds as well, which is a bit strange because I don't think you'd hear whale sounds or like whale song above the water. But that's going to be the next part of our journey. From here, we're going to head down to the coast. And they've got blue whales and they've got sharks. Don't know what else they have in terms of ocean-going animals. And then also in that area, we can head into the like St. Lucia region. And check out hippos there on the coast as well. I think next there is... Yeah, the whales, I've kind of showcased the whales in one of... or the blue whales in one of the NeoFly episodes, which was where I first discovered them. And so that I have seen before. The sharks I've never seen, the hippos I've never seen. Then we also have geese, which I have seen because they're at a lot of the airports. I had geese in a flight the other day, which is actually on the channel. Might be up, might not. Again, I can't remember the order. But I filmed it before this one, so it should be up before this. But we had geese on very short final going into Cape Town. About 5 minutes out, 6 minutes. Very, very pretty part of the world. The rivers that run through here. Is that a river there or is that a road? What is that? That's a river down there. Is this supposed to be a river as well? Looks... That's a road. It's just the texture is a bit strange. It's shining a lot as well, more like water. Then it stops. Okay, I don't actually know what that is supposed to be. Oh, and there. Oh, it might actually be like a canal or something? But it is definitely water. Oh, I should probably be following the GPS instead of following rivers. Need to go this way a bit. Pretty clever place to have your crops get water from the dam. Same thing over there. Okay, 5 minutes to go. Need to clear this ridge here, so we keep climbing a bit, that's fine. we go through the gap on this side? Maybe we can do that. It's probably a farmhouse over here. In fact, I'm 95% sure that that's what that is. Cool to live out in this area. All right, 4 minutes, so we're getting close. Again, never seen this farm before, so we'll have to just check it out, find a safe place to land. It's at least flattening out a bit here, so like, there's plenty of places to put it down in an area like this. At least the weather's a bit better this time in terms of going for a walk to check out the horses. In the previous video when we went to look at the cattle, the weather was not great. Okay, 3 minutes out. Miles, 2 minutes to go. Some more forestry stuff here. Minute, 2.5 miles. And as expected, all farmland out here. Okay, so we do have a bit of a dip here, so we're gonna have to drop down a little bit other side this ridge. So the farm appears to be just other side here. Where's the farmhouse? There's some buildings up there. Those horses down there. Was it just bushes again? Okay, we've passed the field.
Caution, terrain.
So they appear to be in this field up here, which doesn't seem particularly realistic because it's got these circular irrigation systems, the pivots. So they're in the pivot fields, I think they are. Yes, there we go, they're actually all running around there. So we need to put ourselves down somewhere near these buildings. That seems a bit messy. That looks like a decent patch over there. You can actually see all the horses. Seem like the best place? I think it is. Yeah, you can see them all kind of running around, which is pretty cool. There's another one. Interesting, they're way more spread out than the cows were. Some of them are walking, that one's running. Pretty cool. So we can actually land pretty close to them. And then hop out and see what sounds they're making. Okay, we're coming up to 60 knots. Let's get the gear down. Wind is coming from that direction, so that's perfect. We'll do a 180 here and touch down in that patch that I pointed out earlier. Again, I'm just going to keep the parking brake on. Just basically land it as if it were on skids rather than wheels. I'm going to stay to the right of those trees, because if we go over those, we risk putting the tail into the trees. Good. I'll just bring it in nice and gently. A little bit leaning to the side. It's not ideal. Something like this rather. Just see if that's a little better. Little bit of a lean. Something like that. That's a bit better. Right, I think we can shut it down there. go idle. Idle. We can turn all of these off. That's fine. We can switch this off now. These guys, that's fine. That can come, no, sorry. That one can come off. Shut down the engines as well. I actually don't have very much fuel left. Which is weird because I thought you could do fairly long flights in this. I mean, that was just over an hour, about an hour and a half total time, so maybe hour 15 in the air. Right, let's oh, that was the other thing I needed to do, is just come down here. Cabin signs, emergency exit lights, that's off. Position light off. Anti-collision light off. Landing lights we already did. That's done, and then it's just batteries. Probably let the passengers out as well. Just go here to doors. You can open up that one. Right, but there we are. Let's go and have a look up here at the horses. Yeah, you can see one kind of running around over there already. So what I was wondering is if the same ones walk a bit and then start running, or is it just some that are running and some that are walking? Because that one's just been walking so far. So is that one there. Why does it look like it has no ears? Is it just... I love how the sounds actually change depending on what terrain you're walking on. That's pretty cool. This one's just been walking so far. He does appear to be missing ears, though. Oh, there, his ears just rendered in. Cool. I mean, that actually looks pretty good. Do you make any noises? Doesn't seem like it. So he's kind of just walking around. Oh yes, you can hear... There we go. I was going to say, I should at least have noises of them like kind of walking. Which definitely does exist. It's kind of gone out of range now. Let's see if there's one that's running here somewhere. That one's just standing. Way more spread out than all of the cattle and the pigs and stuff were. He's kind of just standing there. Where's the center of the field? This way. There's one running there. Oh, there's the center there. Okay, cool. There's another one running over there too. Great, they're running away. That one is running, but it's not moving. Let's catch up to him quickly. Very unfit. Clearly, so just run like a short distance. This one that's stuck is actually going to help us. We can see it should have a different running sound. You could stop breathing so loudly. Is it the same sound as the one that was walking? Oh, no, it appears to have no sound. Oh, there we go. That is a different sound. Oh, I think the animation... Well, no, the animation's working, but it moving around is broken. So, but the sound is still working, so... Because it's getting... It's like it's running past us, but it's not actually moving. Okay. Horses are pretty cool. That one's a bit busted, so is that one there. And that one next to it, which is... worrying. There's one walking up to us now. Okay, cool. The horses aren't bad. The models look really good. The movement looks good. Sounds are cool. So definitely the land animals so far have been pretty decent. These are the first ones that are broken in the fact that they're not moving, but this was not the end of the world when you're kind of flying over them and stuff. Right, but anyway, that's going to bring us to the end of this episode. In the next one, we're going to head down to the coast and see if we can find some whales or some sharks. And then from there, we'll stay on the coast, check out some hippos, and then after that, I don't know what else, we need to find lions and leopards, I think. There's buffalo as well. So we still got a bunch of animals to check out in this series, and we'll keep doing it with our H160. But anyway... that is going to bring us to the end of this video. If you did make it all the way to this point, I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do down below, and I'll see you in the next one.